Hello everyone, welcome to OChem One Lab. So today we're going to talk about some points about lab safety for your OChem Lab course. So the first part, and in fact the only part for your online class, is going to be talking about safety and laboratory organization presentation. We have no laboratory tour because for the COVID-19 for this semester, fall 2020, your course is going to be completely online. So our goals about lab safety lecture is going to be improve the safety in the undergraduate OChem lab, make students aware of possible accidents during their lab experiments, increase the students' knowledge about the use of highly active or reactive reagents, chemicals, and clean and well-organized lab environments to prevent any kind of accident and chemical contamination. So, students need to be aware that there are lots of possible risks of using chemicals in lab experiments. There are lots of tragic incidents, which some of them caused death, so you need to take care. So if anything happened, any kind of accident, so at first you need to talk to your TA and your instructor, or you can call 911 or can YouTube Campus Police 5611 EHS 8135, and Dr. Matey, you can call Dr. Matey, your instructor, 8778, and the main office 5701. So, why is laboratory safety important? To prevent adverse health effects from exposure to chemicals, organisms, diseases, etc. in laboratories. Laboratory equipment hazards. To prevent laboratory equipment hazards. That's one of the most important points for lab safety. So, each semester, EHS, specifically Ricardo, provides several safety lecture uh, to train for lab safety. So, but some of most important rules for OChem lab. At first, approved safety goggles must be worn at all times. At all times. I emphasize again. You need to have the safety goggles on your eyes at all time when you are in the lab. No food, drinks, or smoking are allowed. Closed-toe shoes must be worn. Food must be covered. Work is permitted only during scheduled laboratory period. Know the location of fire extinguisher, safety equipment, and the nearest exit. Do not use broken or cracked glassware. Check glassware before using it. Never taste or smell chemicals. That's really dangerous. Avoid contact of chemicals with your skin. The use of gloves is required. Dispose of chemical waste as directed by instructor and EHS. Clean your work area and put away all equipment and glassware before leaving. Put paper, trash, and broken glass in their specific container. Keep balance and preparation rooms clean. So goggles, gloves, and lab coats are obligatory. When you are in the lab, you must, you have to have goggles, gloves, and lab coat. So, before using any reagents, chemicals, or instruments, ask your TA during your lab experiment for any questions you may have. To further improve your knowledge regarding your OChem experiments, arrange a meeting with your instructor of records. So, some example of what happened in the OChem lab. It was shown that some students were in the lab without any supervisor. Two students were in the lab unsupervised, and had water bottles and no eye protections. They are completely unacceptable. So, as recommended by Ricardo, students should not enter the lab before having the permission from their TA. So, another point about glassware. So, after experiments and using glassware, don't leave them around the sink like this. This is completely unacceptable. Let the clean glassware dry for the next scheduled section. Don't leave them without washing. In addition, another important point is that after using balanced room, you need to clean it. Clean the station which you use for weighing your chemicals. Don't leave any items and or open containers close to the balance. Don't leave any chemicals close to the balance. Move all chemicals to their initial locations. Make sure no chemicals left on or near the balance. The balance room must be clean like this. So another point is about solvent waste. We have three different solvent waste: aqueous waste, halogenated organic waste, and non-halogenated organic waste. If you're not sure which waste you should use for your solvent waste, ask your TA. If you mix wrong solvent together, it's really dangerous. Explosion. It's really possible. And so about the used pipettes. So used pipettes should not be left in the fume hoods. Used pipettes should be moved to the broken glass box in the chemical preparation room, and the bubbles could be recycled. You should not throw them away. Empty chemical bottles should not be left in the fume hoods. And again, about the used pipette, they should not be left in the fume hoods. So, as I mentioned, the used pipettes should be moved to the broken glass box. So, the next point is arrangement of your workstation. After finishing your experiment, organize and clean your fume hood at the end of your lab. Keep only the equipment with the same color code in your fume hood. For example, here the fume hood is labeled as 3A and 3B. Only equipment labeled 3A and 3B must be in this workstation, not like this. So again, I'm going to emphasize, organize the fume hoods using the color coding of the item. So laboratory kits, however, we have no more laboratory kits in the OChem lab, but I'm going to mention that. So glassware must be organized in the initial place and drawers. So however, it's probably for OChem too, but uh, you should not leave the synthesized chemicals in the cabinets. And after, at the end of the semester, you need to empty your cabinet. So for lab tour, however, as I mentioned, we have no laboratory tour because the course is online. I'm going to ignore this section. But about emergency response plans, again, I'm going to mention that if anything happens, even some small things, please let your TA to know about it. And you can call 911 or UTEP Campus Police 5611 and EHS 1835, Dr. Mehdi 8778, and main office 5701. That was your lab safety lecture for your first class. Good luck, guys.